Good morning. It's about 9:30 in the morning on Monday. Feeling a bit lethargic and a bit tired from the weekend. Not getting some great sleep in doesn't help, and not eating too great either. So decided to basically going to do a bit of an intermittent fast, and in fact actually some intermittent fasted training actually. So I'm going to do some hill sprints. So last week I posted a video of some hill sprints last week, just running up the hill to get the heart rate pumping. So decided that this morning I'm gonna basically do it on fasted stomach. So I've been awake for about 3 or 4 hours now. Again, not great sleep. So what I'm gonna do, start my morning, is to basically have some Optimum Nutrition Gold Standard pre-workout, and this is what I always use to basically power my workouts. Typically, obviously, I do eat and largely a big breakfast or a dinner, depending on which time I'm going to the gym. But during this lockdown, it's not possible, as you know. So basically, just going ahead with the fasted training for probably just a couple of sessions here and there, just to sort of hit some of that fat, and just feel a bit better. The key thing is obviously always sleep as well. So that's the main thing for any sort of recovery and growth and stuff like that, particularly when you are training. So the importance of sleep is it just can't be underestimated. And so yeah, so just this morning, so I'm going to go ahead and do 10 or 15 minutes of just hill sprints, and I guarantee you within about 3 or 4 of those hill sprints, again, the video I posted last week, check it out, 3 or 4 of those and I am completely obliterated. And I will be in a good sort of fat burning mode for the rest of the day in terms of my heart rate. I'm going to try and put some videos about those, the actual heart rate, the elevated heart rate, if I can just take some screenshots from the Apple Health Activity app. What I'll do is I'll put some together and see if that shows a nice sort of little clip of the heart rate being elevated from now. Again, it's about 9:30 to much later, and then you can have a look at and see how that stays in a sort of a nice sort of fat burning mode for most of the day, as I said on that video. Also, I made a new Instagram account. It's my first one. I am probably the last of my age generation to join Instagram. So thanks to my wonderful wife Praveen, to Jadev and Bavik for constantly nagging me over the last 2 or 3 years. I must get an Instagram account. I must get an Instagram. You gotta have one. You gotta have one. So they finally wore me down. So yeah, please check it out. It's called holistic_Hiten. Holistic Hiten. I'm sure that will come up in the search. Give that a follow. I'll be posting a lot more photos about my meal preps and stuff like that on there as the sort of the weeks go on. There's already a couple of posts about a few things, but yes, yeah, definitely give it a check, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe on my YouTube channel. I do appreciate your support so far, and comments and feedback is always good. I can take it. Obviously constructive criticism is also good, but yeah, let's do this. Hey guys, so I've just finished doing about 5 sprints up the hill at various different paces, with one sort of full pelt up the hill, which is basically got my heart rate up quite a lot. As you can see, I'm really knackered, which is great. Which is basically now going to put me in fat burning mode for most of the day now. I will sort of have breakfast or brunch in about an hour or so, and there we go. Just a side note, I don't really do intermittent fasting at all. This is probably one of the first time in perhaps years I've done it. I just want to have as I said earlier on, just want to have a couple of quick stabs at it, just to hit a bit of stomach belly fat, which is what ideally does too. You should also note that for ectomorphs or hard gainers, it is possibly not the best idea just to do intermittent fasted training for too long, and that is because it tends to actually shred muscle, and what you need to do is perhaps take some BCCAs to counter that a little bit. I don't take them personally, but we could talk about that in another video. But yeah, it's definitely a good idea to do that if you are going to be doing intermittent fasting training, just to avoid any undue muscle loss as well. That's another video to do in terms of the different body types. I'll just do a quick video about that maybe in the next week or so again. But yeah, so just going to keep an eye on the heart rate now, just to make sure that it is in a particular level where I can just show you guys, and then you can see how it's behaving over the next few hours or so. Okay, so it's nearly 1 o'clock now. I am absolutely starving, so I quickly knocked up some turkey steaks, which is what I had from my meal prep, baked potato, and since I've not been shopping just yet, I've only got this much veg, so I need to get some. But otherwise, I've just knocked up this very quickly as a healthy lunch. Very little in the way of fats today. Even my potato doesn't have any butter or any cheese or anything like that. So yeah, I'm going to tuck in because I am about to hit the floor dead. Hi, good evening. Just to let you know how the day went with regards to HIIT on intermittent fasting. Yeah, so definitely enjoyed it. It was a bit challenging. Was really hungry, and about 1 o'clock I was just starving. So made myself a lunch, which you just would have seen a moment ago. And to be honest with you, I didn't actually eat much of it. Well, I left a little bit more than I would usually do, and that is simply because I felt full up after eating about 2/3 of it, which is great if you are trying to lose weight and control your calories and stuff like that, which is the whole point of intermittent fasting, is to actually get your body into fat burning mode and give yourself that window of perhaps say 8 hours, and that might be something like from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. to eat in and get all your calories in that way. And particularly helps if you are still trying to get in a calorie deficit at that point in that window, which will assist to weight loss. I did it because I just wanted to try it, just to see how it goes. Definitely feeling a lot more energetic this afternoon, oddly enough, by not eating that many calories. I'm definitely in a calorie deficit today. And so I won't be doing intermittent fasting perhaps from now till next week, where I might just do the whole thing with the hill sprints again, and actually do HIIT with intermittent fasting, not necessarily muscle building. I think for ectomorphs or hard gainers like myself, it's probably not a good idea, and as I said earlier on, it's something that you may then need to supplement with some BCCAs, so that's branched chain amino acids, which is basically a supplement that you can get. I don't personally use them myself, but maybe I should. And so yeah, I can definitely feel the food that I ate from yesterday, and abs a lot more tighter today, and I'm feeling a lot more better just in this one day. So imagine if you was to do this over a number of days. Of course, intermittent fasting is not meant for the long term intermittent, and so what you want to do is basically make sure that you're only doing it for very short term. Maybe that's a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, until you get a little bit of a kick into your system and get your sort of the body working again and stuff like that. Similarly, that might also be things like carb controlling and cutting carbs on your non-training days, and then loading up with more carbs on actual training days, which works well for some people. Ultimately, everyone's body type is different, and so what you need to do is make sure that you do try certain things within boundaries, within certain guidelines. Obviously, what works for a hard gainer doesn't necessarily work for your classic mesomorphs or something like that, where they are or endomorphs, in fact, which by definition is somebody with more fat and more weight, and so the deficits in terms of calorie and training programs may well be different, and so what you need to do is find that. That is again something that I would like to talk about on a separate video, with the goal is to basically talk about more of your classic ectomorphs, and that is skinny kind of build, somebody who really struggles to put on weight, as I originally found, many years ago, and I still have that problem essentially. You may hate me, but if I was to eat a chocolate cake or junk food, burgers, chips and stuff, I actually lose weight, believe it or not. And that is because it basically eats into lean muscle mass percentage and increases body fat percentage, and muscle mass is 4 times as heavier than the equivalent in fat mass. So yeah, so funny enough, it causes me to lose weight. But yeah, so it's something that I'd definitely like to talk about. But for this exercise, I think in terms of doing HIIT training, I found it quite useful just to really give a kick to the sort of the metabolism and energy. I'm actually feeling quite energetic, and could probably train even though I've hardly ate that much calories at all today. So yeah, we'll do that another time. Just look out for, I've got some sort of anecdotal health data from the Apple Watch, which will just show you the heart rates, and that just gives you an idea of how things get elevated and then things stay in a particular range for the rest of the day, or at least part of the day. Okay, so take care, bye.